How's it going, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers video review. Today, the figure we're reviewing is the Studio Series 86 Scourge. Yes, Scourge. Which apparently, to date my video, apparently today they just announced sweeps as well. Which I haven't seen any pictures or whatnot, so but I can't imagine it's going to be much different than this. But yes, this is a Studio Series Scourge, and all in all, he's not a bad looking figure. I kind of wish that I had some of the other Scourges, the Generation Scourge, or the, is it Power of the Primes or Titan's Return? Titan's Return, I think. Gosh, I don't remember. But there's another Scourge that came out, and I have owned both of those Scourges at one point. But this guy is not bad. He is a bit back heavy. I've got his wings. Well, I've got his wings splayed back, so that makes him more back heavy. If I was to articulate these a little bit forward, he would be less back heavy. But he definitely cuts a good silhouette. You know, I like how they've got the wings looking like out here. This is a little bit obnoxious out here. But it's not the most egregious thing I've seen on an official first-party Transformer. But yeah, he's not bad. He's got good yeah. There we go. Good head sculpt. Looking stern. If the lighting is just right, he seems to have kind of a smirk because his mustache will cast an uneven shadow. So that's something that I kind of like, actually. But yeah, color separation, paint apps is all roughly what you would expect. It is of note that the hands are painted this this lighter bluish color, and then painted the fingernails are pink on top of that. So you've got, you know, layering of paint apps on there. By and large, most of the paint apps are pretty good. His entire thigh is painted, which has mixed results because it's like it's this purpley plastic underneath. And I'm not seeing any blemishes on this sample. By the way, this is on loan to me from a buddy of mine. I'm not seeing any blemishes on this sample, but at the same time, you know, especially as you're moving around, you may find paint, you know, as it hits the inside of his skirts and whatnot. There may be paint damage that accrues over time if you are a player, not a displayer. So, which is kind of, I don't know. For my figures, like, I'll take and I'll play with my figures for like a month, 2 months, whatever, and then I will, after some time, take them and pose or display them somewhere. I haven't even put this guy up in my display yet because I've just been keeping him by my desk and playing with him and whatnot. But let's get into his accessories. He comes with basically 2 accessories. First is this blaster here, hollowed out for ease of molding. No paint apps or anything on it. Decent sculpt work on it though. Little scopey scope here and thingamadoodle here, and yeah, I don't even know what half of these features on the Space Age 80s guns are supposed to be. They're just like, yeah, make something that looks interesting to look at. So that fits into his hand just so. He does have asymmetrical hands, by the way. One closed fist, one open fist. You can hold it in an open one, but it doesn't hold it quite as securely because the fist hole doesn't go all the way around. But he holds it well. It also comes with a little with a little effect, which is, kind of suggestive in nature, but whatever. And that attaches right on here to this little 3mm attachment there. You can apparently also put it on the end of this, but it's not really meant to go there. My buddy was saying that they stretched it out a little bit, and now it doesn't hold on to the gun as well as it should, so I'm sure it holds in just fine here. So it must have unstretched in the time that I've had it in my ever-loving care. But it's also got a peg on the side that's mostly for storage mode in the vehicle mode, but you can, peg it onto his forearm or whatnot. He does have additional peg holes on the bottom of his feet, on his forearms. You can get these ones here on the backpack and this one here on the back as well. So a little bit of adherence to the previous weaponizers idea. I guess fossilizers is the newest thing, which is the same as weaponizers, but skeletons instead of robots. It's the thing. But anyhow, let's get into his articulation. His head is on a ball joint, so he's got a little bit of sass going on there. Tiny bit of up and down. Rotates. If you move his head just right, you can get any kind of positioning out of that rotation there. Shoulder goes forwards and back. Up quite a bit. Bicep joint, because this joint here is made out of a flexible polyoxyl methylene, or POM as people like to just abbreviate it. It will, naturally, if you keep it in a position, it will naturally detent itself to that position. So as I'm turning this, it kind of clicks into this position, because that's where he tends to be posed, and that's where he certainly spends all of his time when he's in soap dish mode. But yeah, single joint there, ever so slightly more than 90 degrees of bend. Rotation at the wrist, but it is stiff, like I said, because this wrist is actually painted. The whole hand is actually painted, so I imagine that paint adds a little bit of friction and changes the tolerance a bit. He does have a waist joint, which runs just freely. You can go to any pose that you want. Leg goes that far forward, that far back. Goes out for, let's move this. Now, for about, we'll call it 90% of a Van Damme. He does have a hidden thigh swivel. But I will like to point out that this thigh swivel is a cleverly disguised mushroom peg, and if you move it, it will pop itself out. If you move it very far, it will pop itself out of that joint. But you can just seat that back in. 90 degrees of bend on, actually we'll call it 91 degrees of bend on that knee. Tiny bit of tilt on the ankle. Toe moves. Heel moves, mostly for transformation, and that is it. Like I said, with a little bit of backpack heaviness, he is not the most articulate figure, but he gets the job done, and I think that's really the bottom line there. They probably could have engineered in a double joint on the knee if they wanted. His little figure stand hole is awkwardly placed. I think it probably would have been better back here somewhere, but I don't mean awkwardly placed in that it looks funny when you have it on there. It's awkwardly placed in that it's going to make the stand attachment more obtrusive than one that's more conveniently placed, but whatever. Let's get him transformed up into his vehicular mode. To do that, let's just take and yank on the old backpack here. Actually, yeah. I could have sworn that was exactly how I did it, but apparently it wasn't. apparently I got to spread the wings first. Spread the wings, that unhooks these slots from these tabs here. Now the backpack will go out, and we'll just take this and unfold this out. There's a lot of stuff all bunched up in here. We'll just kind of extend this out. Oh, I had that for a second. And it folded back up on me. Why must you do this? There we go. When you've got this all extended out on this part too, you can take this piece here, rotate that around. This will flip up, and this little cone will fit into the hole in the center of that. This will sit back here. The legs you can tab together. Fold in the heels, fold in the toes. And then these slots will go over these tabs right here. Like so. This will come up and fold in, and that will just nicely just clip into place. The arms are going to be folded out, and then you untab them from the body. And now this tab is going to go into this slot, which is cleverly disguised as a screw hole. And again for the other side. Why is my thing not in focus? Jeez, I just like looked down and looked at my camera. It's like, oh yeah, that's a nice forearm you got there. Well, thanks, I exercise. I don't, I'm fat. Alright, this came untabbed. Let's put that back into position. These are going to extend out on these double joints here. You're going to flip out this panel here and flip out this little motor thing here. Again, double joint, flip out, flip out. Now this is going to double joint in on itself. And then you're going to connect them together, and they will tab together as they connect in. And then this will seat in and cover everything up like so. Give it a good squeeze. Fold these panels in. And that, as they say, is that. It is a Decepticon soap dish. No landing gear on it. Of course, it just basically flies around in space. I don't think that he ever would, physically land somewhere. Not like he has to, blend in with the other soap dishes or something like that. Oh, excuse me. You can take this, plug this in on the side. Take this, plug this in on the tip here. Like I said, my buddy had applied that to these ones here, but he thinks that they are ever so slightly larger and that it became slightly warped. So I'm not going to emulate that for very long. But there he is in his soap dish mode, and in this mode, it's basically what you see is what you get. It's the old WYSIWYG. No features, action features, whatnot. Doesn't roll, doesn't land, it doesn't swoosh it. Oh, I mean, if you can swoosh it, but it is what it is. I think it looks pretty. I think it looks pretty accurate. I think it's pretty well done. I personally don't know that I'm going to go out and buy a whole bunch of them. But, I know that he had a big role to play in the movie and a big role to play in Season 3 of Transformers. And if that's what you're making a collection of, maybe you need an army of sweeps. I don't know. But that is pretty much going to be all that I can say about this. A little bit of paint chipping up there. But it's a decent figure. And, yeah, I suppose I can say, yeah, if you see one, go and pick it up. Not my highest recommend for a figure, but, it's not... It certainly doesn't suck. It's basically par for course for a mainline Hasbro figure. But thanks, everybody, for watching. You guys are fantastic. I do want to point out that one of my goals for this year is to try and make most, if not all, of my videos sub 20 minutes. And I've already failed that this year with my 45-minute Gundam review. But I'm going to do better. I promise. Anyhow, everybody, thanks for watching. I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Or whatever like that. See ya.